Okay, this is 6th grade math NTI day 4, Friday, January the 19th. Okay, this is over ratios and unit rates, which is very similar to yesterday's. A bakery made 9 cakes using 3 bags of flour. The bakery uses the same relationship between cakes made and the amount of flour used to make all of their cakes. Which table of values shows the relationship between the number of cakes the bakery makes to the number of bags of flour the bakery uses? Okay, so number of cakes in the original ratio was 9-3. So the first thing you have to do is think about that ratio 9-3 and what it means. Okay, if you look at how the numbers compare to each other, we can simplify that ratio and you can divide them both by 3, and this is the same as 3-1. So that means when we look at the tables, we need to make sure that the number of cakes is always 3 times the number of bags of flour. Okay, so cakes, this one it's just the opposite. The flour is actually more than the cakes, so it's not A. Okay, look at cakes and flour. Cakes, definitely not 3 times as much as flour. So that leaves us 2 tables left. See which one has 3 times as many cakes as it does flour. So for example, if I look at this, I see 3 times as many cakes as flour. 3 times as many cakes as flour, and every single time it's 3 times bigger. So this is the ratio. In fact, it even has that 9-3 in it. So it is B. Number 2, Krista works as a cashier in an office supply store. The graph shows the ratio amount, the graph shows the ratio, I think I left out a word there. The graph shows the ratio of maybe amount earned to time worked. Okay, amount earned, time worked. How much will Krista work if she works for 6 hours? So to do this, you can go along the bottom until you get to 6 hours. Then you go up and you see the dot. You follow it over the y-axis to see what pay that represents. And it's right there between 40 and 50. So between 40 and 50 would be $45. Number 3. Spraying plants with the cornmeal juice is a natural way to prevent fungal growth on the plants. It is made by soaking cornmeal in water using 2 cups of cornmeal for every 8 gallons of water. Complete the ratio table. Funny thing is, there's not a ratio table here. I didn't even notice that. So let's just make a ratio table. So we have cornmeal on the top. We have gallons of water at the bottom. I'll just put water. And a ratio table has that same ratio. We're going to start by using the one it gave me, 2 cups of cornmeal for 8 gallons of water. And as we talked about in class, you can do several things with a ratio. You can make it larger by multiplying it by certain numbers. So what I'm going to do is double both of those. You could also triple them, quadruple them. Another thing you can do is you can make it smaller. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to let you double it in this one. I'm going to make it smaller by dividing them both by the same number. So if I divide them both by 2, I'll get 1 and 4. So a ratio table just means you have several ratios that have the same relationship, and that is the water is always 4 times greater than the cornmeal. Number 4, a supermarket had bags of red grapes for $13 for 5 bags. They also had bags of green grapes priced at $5.08 for 2 bags. Which type of grape is most expensive? So we have to find the unit price for each one of those. Okay, let's start with red grapes. And then we'll do green, okay. Red grapes, they are $13 for 5 bags. And the way you find a unit price is you take the dollars divided by the units. So we're going to take $13 divided by 5. Looks like it's 2.6, which means $2.60 a bag. Then you're going to do the same thing for green. You're going to take $5.08 and divide by 2. Then which type of grape is most expensive? So once you get those unit rates, decide which one is larger. Number 5. At a candy store, you could get 3 giant lollipops for $4.89. How much would it cost for 10 lollipops? So first, let's find the cost per lollipop. So $4.89. That's for 3 of them. So to get the unit price, we're going to divide by 3. That tells me they are $1.63 each. Okay. This is how much would it cost for 10 lollipops. So every one of them is $1.63, but you're going to buy 10 of them. So figure out how you can get your answer. That means $1.63 10 times. Number 6, ratio table. So this is what it was asking for in number 3. So you can see how it's given to you here where we drew our own in number 3. Number 6, the following table represents the ratio of quarters to nickels. How many quarters are equivalent to 8? No, how many nickels are equivalent to 8 quarters? So I look in the table and I see they've already got the 8 in there with the question mark. So we have to find the relationship between quarters and nickels. Okay, if I look down here, 2 quarters, 10 nickels. Both of those are 50, 2 quarters are 50 cents. 10 nickels also 50 cents. Those also have a value, they both have a value of 50 cents. 4 quarters means we have doubled the number of quarters, and so we double the number of nickels. If you look at the 6, that means you have 3 times as many quarters and 3 times as many nickels. So when you look at the 4th column over here, think about how many times greater that is. Okay, this was 2 times greater, 3 times greater. That means this column is 4 times greater. And if you have 4 times as many quarters, you will have 4 times as many nickels. And that's how you get that answer right there. Number 7, compare the rates to find which is the best value. So once again, this is about unit rates. 13 greeting cards cost $13.50. Oops, so I hope it's still recording. Okay. Yes, I'm still recording. I thought my battery went dead. Compare the rates to find which is the best value. So you take $13.50, you divide by 3 to find your unit price. Looks like they are $4.50 each. 4.5 means $4.50. Okay, you do this for each one of these. The best value means the one that's the cheapest. So we want the one that's the least expensive. So go through there, find the unit rates, then you'll know which one is least expensive. Oh, that's it. Day 4 is complete. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I hope to see you again on Monday.